All right, 5 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Nice looking Monday. Hope you're doing well. Robin, you're a very, very, very giving person.
Thank you.
And once in a while, you know, when things get rough, you know, somebody will come to you and say, you know, Robin, you got to do this. You say, well, you know, okay, I'll do it. Mm-hmm. And I'll say, Robin, you do so much for people. Why? Now people are coming down on you because you didn't do that but you do all this other stuff, and then nobody's paying attention to the other stuff. Mm-hmm. He was a giver, right? Our next guest is going to show you that while giving may be good, there's a better way to give than giving and then suddenly leaving yourself high and dry. Mm-hmm. If I understand what we're going to talk about. Dr. Shaelyn T. Pham is on the phone. She must be on the West Coast because I heard her say it was like 8 o'clock.
Yep.
Which means she got up early to be with us.
Yeah.
She's a licensed psychotherapist. She's a leadership consultant. She's the principal founder of Psychological Services and Holistic Health. And her book is something you might want to read. It's called The Joy of Me. Uncover Your Loving Self Through the Art of Being Selfish. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's find out about this from Dr. Pham. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on the show.
Oh, you're welcome. Where are you?
I am in California, Los Angeles.
Oh, see, I love that area. I had a feeling when I heard you tell Robin it was 8 o'clock.
It is 8 o'clock over here right now.
Well, thank you for getting up early. You know, I can relate to what you're saying, too. I feel like sometimes you give and give and give, and then as soon as you make the slightest mistake, you say, come on, can't you give me a break? I help out so many people. Well, yeah. that doesn't change anything. You still got to pay the speeding ticket. Yeah. So do we make a mistake when we give as much as we give? Or, you know, I would hate to be just the taker.
Yes, and the idea is not to be the taker or the giver that end up in a resentful, but finding that balance in terms of giving in a way that is promoting and nurturing growth for the other persons, as well as taking care of yourself as well. Because, you know, like you said earlier, when you give, and then you have nothing else to give, it's kind of like you're a pot of tea, and you have to have some tea to pour it out into the cups. And if you have nothing, well, it's kind of hard to pour out anything.
Exactly. You know, when Judy Garland died, I don't know if you're old enough to remember Judy Garland, but when she died, the press said she was such a giving person. And I'm not trying to take that away from her. I'm sure she was. But I remember my thought thinking, she was getting paid for all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I got it at that moment. In other words, I got the connection. Just because you're getting paid doesn't mean you're not giving. Mm-hmm. Right?
Right.
Yes.
So you can be giving.
And also, you know, sometimes we think that we are giving selflessly. At times, we unconsciously have an expectation or the hope for reciprocation.
Yeah.
It's not really selflessly or unconditionally love and give either.
Well, but even the people who believe completely in karma or in the law of reciprocity or whatever you want to call it, even they will say, I give for selfish reasons because I want to receive. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know if that's a law of the universe or whatever people think it is. And what do you think about that?
Well, I think it's wonderful that you want to, you know, believe that karma goes around and that what you give, then it will come back to you. And it's okay to have those thoughts, but the important part is that to know that it may not happen, and knowing that if you give because you want to give, and you know there are joy from giving, but only when you give not at your expense, and you give because you want to, not with any source of strings attached to it or the hope that, you know, someone somewhere is going to reciprocate it. Because when it doesn't happen, then you may end up being resentful and angry.
Oh, yeah.
So when you give because you know this is just solely for you and you want to give, then it's wonderful.
You also delve into the personal aspect when a couple is married and then the woman wants to go out with the girls or the fellow wants to go out with the guys and leave the spouse home. You also deal with that kind of issue.
Oh, yes, I definitely do. Because, you know, when you take care of yourself, you know, you find your joy, then you also know what it means to have the time for yourself to take care of yourself, and you would honor and you want to allow that time for your partner and anyone's in your life, to be honest.
So have you had a client that you had to work with who was too giving, and you changed their mind about giving, and what happened that made the difference for them?
That is actually part of the reason why I wrote the book, the reemerging themes that keep coming up. Is that the person, they keep giving and giving and giving, and to a point that they have nothing else to give, and they are either exhausted or they're too tired to give, and it's kind of like a rubber band. When you stretch so thin, eventually you're going to snap.
Yeah,
and then they would be, it's like either the poor me, no one take care of me, I do everything for everyone, and no one, do anything for me, and they end up to waiting and expecting, their loved one to take care of them. And the sad part is it doesn't happen, because up until this point, they have been the caretaker. So why would anyone have even the thought that, I need to take care of this, because they are so strong, they have been the provider in all sense, whether it's financially, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, whatever, that they have been the provider for.
The book is called The Joy of Me, Uncover Your Loving Self Through the Art of Being Selfish. Do we misunderstand the word selfish?
It depends on how you understand it.
Okay. Well, I mean, usually the word selfish is considered a negative word,
Yeah.
It is. It has a lot of negative connotation to it. And so that's part of the reason why I want to, turn it in its head and look at what really is selfish. Because I have seen, mother who have a newborn and they need to have that 15 minutes just to sit down and eat, or just take a half an hour bath just so they can unplug. And they think that's too selfish, because they need to dedicate every single second of the day for their newborn.
Yeah,
and
that's
so
true.
We have to really look at what is selfish, because, if that is the case, then we need to start with the act of selfishly taking care of our needs so that we can have enough energy and our cup is full so that we can give to other people.
And that keeps that person, the caregiver or the caretaker, happier and healthier just by taking those few moments of time.
Absolutely. The analogy that they use on the plane, if something goes wrong, the mask of oxygen comes down, first put on your mask before you put on help your neighbor. It's because it's the same thing with life, because when you put in your mask first, then you have, the oxygen to sustain your life, because if you're not, you may try and help someone, and in the middle of it, you may faint. So you may not be able to help yourself or anyone.
Yeah, that's what they always tell you on the airplane. And and the plants are the perfect example of receiving and giving, because they don't have any choice about it. A plant will constantly put out oxygen into the air and constantly take in carbon dioxide. It's a perfect relationship.
Right.
That is. I'm glad that you use that. I'm so going to steal that from now on.
So how do we get the book?
The book is available anywhere right now, but Amazon is definitely a place to go to. And you can purchase that from there.
Okay. And can a person give too much of themselves?
Absolutely. A person can give too much. And so that's really important to know the motivations behind your giving. Are you giving because, you have so much to give and you give without any expectation, or you give with an expectation? I think that's the key underlying tone to know where this is going to take you.
All right. So I think I'm going to take this lesson, and what I'm going to do is at Christmas time, I'm going to give all the gifts. Now, we're not going to hold back, but then I'm going to take a cruise. I'm just going to give it to myself. I'm going to take a cruise somewhere. I don't know where I'm going, but I'll go someplace.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
Dr. Shaelyn Pham, thank you. The book again is called The Joy of Me. Go to Amazon or any of the books and go to thejoyofme.com, and you can also find it there. Thank you, Dr. Pham.
Thank you for having me.
Fun interview. All right, we will take a little break, and we'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA.
Weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Sunny to partly cloudy and nice this afternoon, high 73 to 76. Mainly clear tonight, low 56 to 64. Tuesday, sunshine, pleasant and warmer, high 79 to 82. Wednesday, sunshine and patchy clouds, high 82 to 85. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Brian May.
Who would you feed if you had 50 chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A? WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall have teamed up to reward one organization with 50 chicken sandwiches as a way of saying thanks for the great work that organization is doing in our community. And we need your help. See, there are so many great people doing great things that we need nominations. You can nominate your own organization or any organization you choose. Simply send an email to WOCA@WOCA.com. And in 350 words or less, tell us why the organization you are nominating should receive 50 free chicken sandwiches from WOCA and Chick-fil-A at the Paddock Mall. We'll review your nominations and then select one deserving organization each month. We'll announce the winner and even read the winning entry on the air. Make sure to include the contact name and phone number of the organization that you are nominating. And thanks from your friends at WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall.
I'm Major George Patterson from the Salvation Army. Please stop by our family store at 120 Northwest 10th Street in Ocala, where on Wednesday you have a 50% off clothing and bric-a-brac. On Friday, 25% off furniture and large appliances. And on Saturday, stop by to our yard sale from 8:45 to 11. Donations can be made by calling 352-732-4469 and we'll pick it up. Funds from the store go toward the services that we provide in Marion County.
Experience Christmas at Gaylord Palms, November 15th through January 4th with Ice, featuring the Nutcracker. Relive your favorite scenes from the classic ballet, hand-carved in more than 2 million pounds of ice sculptures and slides. Enjoy a special bonus area, the Frostbite Factory, and watch artisans from Harbin, China carve amazing ice sculptures before your eyes. Your awe-inspiring experience concludes with the wonder of the Nativity in Ice. For tickets and packages, visit christmas@gaylordpalms.com.
Stay informed on everything going on in the Villages with the Village Spectator newspaper. The Village Spectator is exclusively devoted to the Villages with news, commentary, and more. And yes, they have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village